Hello, I'm Christopher Gorog. I'm the founder, CEO, and CTO of BlockFrame Incorporated. My background started in the United States Navy as a nuclear engineer, and then after I transitioned out of the Navy, I worked as a technician and then a design engineer, got into software, focused around the application of cryptography and cybersecurity, working with many companies, global supply chains. The interesting thing I found is they all had relatively the same problem in the back end. And that problem has been something I have spent a lifetime pursuing and trying to solve.
My name is Kent Lambert. I'm the Chief Operations Officer for BlockFrame Incorporated. And on a daily basis, I provide management oversight, and I'm typically the liaison to the corporate board of directors. Dr. Chris Gorog and I worked on some legislation for the state of Colorado. I think that's how I initially got involved with BlockFrame. And when I was term limited from the state legislature, I was thinking, well, what do I do next? And this seemed to be one of the most exciting and productive things I could do for the next phase of my careers.
My name is Dr. Subhash Palaru. I have a PhD in physics. I'm a former Department of Energy Deputy Assistant Secretary for the Office of Electricity. Then I ran the Federal Power Grid, the Central Valley Project for the state of California. And currently I'm the CEO of Freedom Motors, but I'm also heavily involved in BlockFrame Technologies as the Chief Investment Officer and the Chief Financial Officer. I'm also a board member. So what do I do in BlockFrame? Interesting question, because BlockFrame is not the one who sought me. I sought BlockFrame because of my experience for 20 years in the United States government. What did I lack for cybersecurity, trust, and things like that is what I found in BlockFrame.
My name is William Ransom. I'm the Chief of Product Development at BlockFrame Inc. I currently manage several teams in the development of our hardware and software solution. In 2021, I was offered the opportunity to join the team full-time and jumped on it immediately. Chris's passion around these solutions and seeing these solutions come to fruition has been a joy for me.
My name is Dave Scott. My title at BlockFrame is Chief Marketing Officer. My role simply is to get the word out about this amazing technology and how it's going to change the world, specifically in the healthcare industry, in energy, and in defense. A little bit about my background. Formerly trained as a mathematician and electrical engineer. I went to Morehouse College undergrad as well as Georgia Tech. I earned my MBA in finance from Columbia University, and I went on to work in semiconductor research and development, as well as a number of consulting companies. My history of involvement with BlockFrame started before I even knew I would be involved in BlockFrame, and that was when I met Dr. Gorog years ago, where we were consulting. Years later, Dr. Gorog had called me and shared with me this concept that he had put together that actually began to achieve patents and actually was deployed, and asked me to play a role as an advisor.
So BlockFrame is a startup out of Colorado Springs, out of Colorado. Some of you might say, wow, I didn't know we had startups here. Some of you might say, well, I've seen this because I've been around a lot. Sean and I have hosted New Cyber Frontier for almost a decade. So we've been talking to everybody in the community as well as outside. So what is it that we do might be the next question. And I hear that quite often. Okay, you've been around for a while. We've been talking. What is it that we do? Well, I'll get into that as well. But first of all, there's been a lot of support from this community. And a big thank you to so many people that we've engaged with as not just a startup, but a program that was started at Colorado Tech that moved to University of Colorado, Colorado Springs, Colorado State University. We have a program, as well as several other universities. We've had students from Arizona State, from Wright State, from University of Denver, and a new university in Budapest that's looking at one of our hubs as well. So, and blockchain development community. It was started as a club at Colorado Tech. Senator Lambert met with me at the time. We passed some legislation that I helped him pass and funded several things in the state, including this program here at the NCC. So give a big thank you to him for so much of that work that has spurred what we have here today. But a small piece of that, then in the local community, you see pictures of Sean and Vinny up here, Ekta, many of you would know, as well as international support that was gained through IEEE. So I chair digital privacy. Senator Lambert runs a working group. That's why you hear me interested in privacy all the time. I always listen up for how is privacy handled. And I sit on the industry advisory board at the top of the world, looking at what is coming down the pipe for industry. And all that to be said, so many partners and companies that have come on as we're looking at designed in security. We've been the deep tech. I've taken so many students through the program from all these different universities to work on, first of all, just let's get some education. Let's get some experience. Let's work on an active project. And now they're turning into things that are going to be released in a big scale, in a big way. So why? Digital transformation, it's coming. How do we know? Because our kids don't have toys anymore. Everything is going to be virtual. How many of you do anything physical for your work all day? I don't. When it results down to what is digital transformation at the end of the day, we only care about what's physical and what's some kind of a cloud resource. So our designed in security, our look at the next generation of security is what BlockFrame is about, and making, first of all, programs to support it, and then technology that is rolling out to actually implement on scale these type of things. So what do? At a high level, we solve the industry problem, right? This is a typical example of a technology problem. For 50 years, cars were on the road before the first turn signal was put in the car. The three things, lines, signs, and signals, that make uniformity. For 50 years, we've been in the data industrial revolution. It is millions of applications. Nothing works together. Nothing has any uniformity. What we do is the simplicity, putting simplicity behind it and technology to design in to make a future where this is possible when everything's virtual. And as our tagline says at the first slide, enabling the human rights in a digital world is what we look at from the top end that we can bring to everybody. So ignore all the busy words. There's 5 boxes on here. Top right, we make a family of products. Top left, to solve the cybersecurity problems that many of you know about. In the middle, we use some deep tech. We implemented some blockchain. We implemented some cyber physical hardware security on nodes to connect and make an ecosystem to solve business problems on the bottom left. And supply chain benefits that at scale can be huge impact on many industries. So a family of products that works together. I won't spend too much time on this slide other than to say that our offerings on a B2B take a company that has cloud services, people, and products and makes them all be able to trust each other and verify each other. So we use distributed ledger in the background to send out security credentials to any computer system that then the user on them uses to sign the data that comes back, so all the round trip of data is provable and designed in a whole ecosystem of products, which I'll show you we have several customers and utility or industries implementing currently. So then the bigger picture is we implement together many of these type of operations for our different customers that would be at scale. So what is it that we ultimately do? We turn cybersecurity from something that is only affordable to large businesses, that is high cost and has to have all these big analysis, big servers and hardware, to something that the individual can use, like we know in the Keurig. We containerize cybersecurity transactions sold in services so people can buy them and use them for pennies on the dollar when they need them. People control their own technology, data, and ownership in the future, and even point to point between different people. So all usable in a package format. Every single one of these operations, we implement the technology to sell one transaction on the blockchain and use that to keep track of record. So we are currently in 3 different verticals. You can imagine this technology could go anywhere. People always come up to me with a new use case, say, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this. Yes, we had to focus somewhere. So we focus in the supply chain, where we actually, as a company, have engagements right now active in 3 major areas. Data centers, the verification of data in and out. The new push with AI is, where did my data come from that went into AI? And is my data made by AI? Can I verify which one and who owns it? And ownership rights, coming back to that human rights in the virtual sense. Also, what interesting is the micro supply chain. We're making an application that uses our backend to store transactions that anybody can download and start to put stuff in immutable blockchains so they can prove where things came from in your micro high quality sales. And I have very small, like micro farming, micro craft type of images up here. But you can think of things like diamonds, jewelry, and things that are high value that we all need to track where they come from. Or in the case of like foods, time to market. But the ability to do this is literally enabled with a simple app that we can issue out, and it's in our designs to put out globally, so everybody can start downloading this and use our backend. The other verticals, at-home education. And this is, think of the world right now has went after COVID to individual education at home. So we actually are releasing a product that very inexpensive to save the data coming from universities so that they can control their data and proctor exams coming back. Right now, we don't know whether our students are using AI or even exist. We just get data coming in, data going to them. Universities put their curriculum out and it's gone. It's copied and pasted, posted everywhere. But this problem is solved with very expensive proctoring from somebody watching somebody take a test. So this one is one that we have in the works right now to be released as part in the next year or so. And energy. We have been working for the last couple of years with 2 energy companies and with a DOE and with a couple of national labs, and we've implemented a demonstration of this working, documenting energy transactions. The ability for any device out there to make a transaction to buy or sell energy for renewable energy. So that's our 3 markets that we're in when you look at, where do we approach, where do we start? So Sean said that we just recently went IPO. It's not really IPO, it's a pre-IPO. Basically, we're releasing our stock under a Security Exchange Commission program that allows people to buy it before it goes IPO, because we have an IPO coming down the pipe. And we wanted to give this to the community. As you saw, we've had so much support from this community, and we're opening it up to everybody at this time to be involved with this before this technology goes IPO.
BlockFrame technology offers next-generation blockchain-managed trust and security. Unique non-fungible tokens are used to secure software bills of materials to provide data quality and security for every transaction in your supply chain. Deploy advanced peer-to-peer product security, scale zero trust capability to millions of IoT devices, allow vendor tracking and accountability, and rapidly reset from compromise. Unchangeable, time-sequenced blockchain data provides next-generation security using machine learning trust algorithms and audit analytics. Start securing your supply chain today by contacting BlockFrame at www.blockframetech.com.
Oh, much better, much better. My mouth was soon going to do that turn inside out thing, Ugh. Well, anyway, the technology, we solve 4 major problems that if any of you work in maybe even one of these areas, are very difficult. Supply chain, deploy products, integrating physical and digital supply chain, and then scalability. Scalability was the thing that we had to work on the last 5 years, and this is where the research at University of Colorado has really paid off. We've had several teams, and Dr. Bolt was my advisor, so my dissertation was on proving out that we could make a ability to scale a new type of blockchain. And most people say blockchain, cryptocurrency is the same thing. This is not anything to do with cryptocurrency. It's the ability to store millions of transactions per second and then scale that to millions of devices, doing it globally to the point where we can scale it as big as the internet currently is and still make it manageable and high throughput speeds. It's tremendous work that basically the department or the White House released that 15% of the energy increase in the last couple of years is due to cryptocurrency mining. And they said Bitcoin alone, and there's so many other cryptocurrencies too. More money is wasted on energy by like a magnitude of 5 to 10 times than is received in value for the coins. So this current dynamic we have with blockchain and cryptocurrency is not really sustainable, and nobody likes to hear that because they're all buying it on a global scale. But if we could just remove that, and this chart shows, we published this, Dr. Bolt and I, over a year ago, right when this hit the market and cryptocurrency took a dive, because we published a way that mining doesn't have to be in the picture in the future. And this is the type of technology we're rolling out here. We have patented this. This technology for the blockchain, the technology for the end system credential holding, the technology for provisioning security credentials, and the technology for individual sales of data in packaging is all patented, issued in the US, and our patents, 4 of them are issued internationally, and the others are pending. This, if you think that, hey, this technology is something that's going to be big in the future, it started right here. And we're the only ones that have the ability to do this, to scale this, to own this. So it's a good time as we look at it, and we're really excited about what this looks like moving forward, which is why we said, hey, we need to speed up the process. We need to bring in some investors, scale this up, and take it to the market very fast. Because equivalent providers that claim that they can scale blockchain right here have issued in the last 2 years token offerings and brought in millions. Solana, $359 million. Cardania, $62 million. In addition to us having literally the same or even more impressive performance, I will say, with my work, you can take your own input. We add zero trust and the security on top of it, as well as a governance capability, because it was originally designed under funding from the state of Colorado to implement governance of state programs, of which 71 programs were identified as potential candidates. So we had to manage all those programs and implement the technology to do that, which lives on top of what we do here. Hosted at University of Colorado, we actually have 16 servers that are going to be the first international governance organization for managing that. So the future is bright. The technology we look at started here in Colorado, and we'd love to open that up and let this community and anybody you know in Colorado be a part of it. This tremendous growth that we see. These are our 3 markets, and the market segments, and what is even if we had 1 to 2% of each of the markets, it's $1 billion market in all 3. And it's like I said, we've only focused on 3. You can imagine the technology fits into many more. But anyway, I'll leave it with this. We have an open investment opportunity at investinblockframe.com. It is security exchange issued, FINRA authorized. We can't talk about it other than our broker can give you any information you want, and we'd love to have you check it out and join in with us as we ramp and grow. Thank you. Can we give this to?
Don't go anywhere.
Not yet.
Oh,
Hey, I said don't go
don't go
anywhere.
anywhere. Oh, I have
All right,
something
Benny,
else
what do
too.
we got?
See that for me?
We've got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for a red sponsor Cybersecurity
All
Push
right.
Friday t-shirt. I sponsored Cybersecurity Push Friday.
Is it going to be big enough?
You can give it to us.
All right.
You can have that.
Awesome. So also, let me see the mic for a minute. We have lots of giveaways. Stop by our booth, drop your card out, and they're going to do, I don't know how Billy plans on doing it. Did you talk to him about? They're going to do a raffle and give away quite a few of our shirts, nice polos, giveaways, and lots of cups, very similar to this, except for they have a better name on it.
Gotta show up at the booth. Gotta show up at the booth.
Show up at the booth, drop your card in, or fill out one of the cards. Thanks.
My name is Hank Bond. I'm a retired Rear Admiral. I served in the U.S. Navy for about 32 years. I'm the co-CEO and founder of ForceNow, a full-service cybersecurity company. And I have been working with Dr. Gorog and Senator Lambert for 5 years or more now around this project of BlockFrame. And I've been part of the board of advisors and have been watching the growth and providing some, what I hope is useful feedback on some of their go-to-market strategies and their relationships within the federal government and in the state of Colorado. BlockFrame, under Dr. Gorog and Senator Lambert, has come up with novel approaches to go to scale on a number of use cases and just things that supply chains, value chains, what is required to track provenance of parts of those chains. Their solution is scalable, and I've enjoyed watching it come into the marketplace.
I'm Jonathan Steenland, co-founder and co-CEO of ForceNow, also an advisor for BlockFrame and also the former CISO of Fujitsu. I met Dr. Gorog and Senator Lambert in 2020 when I was at the National Cybersecurity Center and was at that point really introduced to the whole concept of blockchain. I had heard about it previously, but did not really know about many real-world applications that existed until I started speaking with them, and was extremely impressed with what they were trying to do with the state of Colorado in bringing blockchain technology and integrity and trust to the state's applications that would benefit the local communities.
I'm Dr. Sean Murray. I'm the President and Chief Academic Officer at Murray Security Services. As an advisor and a partner with the BlockFrame community, we have been able to, from the beginning, participate in the initial concepts, the possibilities of solving complex problems with blockchain technology. I've been serving on the BlockFrame Council, International Council, for many years, and so incorporating international standards with the development of new methods to solve complex problems is one of the reasons why we decided to get involved with the BlockFrame community. Initially, in the beginning of the BlockFrame discussions, I got excited because I was exploring blockchain technology and some of the methods to be able to use that technology in ways to help with integrity processes, digital identities, provide a means for identifying people, processes that was consistent and was defendable. And Dr. Gorgs and I, our conversations over the years provided an insight into his contributions into this industry that have left me very interested and excited.
I'm Terry Bolt. I'm an advisor to the BlockFrame Company, and I'm the CU Distinguished Professor of Innovation Security at the University of Colorado, Colorado Springs. I've known about BlockFrame since before it was BlockFrame. I've worked with Dr. Gorg when he was a student, and I've been involved with this process early on in the ideation, worked with them as they were trying to figure out exactly how to move forward, some legislation, how to move forward to start building the technology. And my lab at the university has been funding some of the students working on the BlockFrame development efforts from the very beginning. So I got involved with BlockFrame for two reasons. First was just the pure technology aspects of what's going on. I've been involved in security for a long time, and while I see some of the advantages of traditional blockchain and block coin type stuff, I also saw the horrible inefficiencies in the ways they're being used. And when we started talking about the ideas behind BlockFrame, the trust consensus model, and a bunch of the things that are very unique to it, it became clear to me that this was a technology very different from traditional blockchain work that was going on, with the potential to scale to the kinds of problems that I actually thought were important for society, and things that you couldn't do efficiently with other technologies. So from a pure technology level, that got me excited. The second reason I got involved is because part of my role at the university is mentoring students, and I saw an opportunity here for something that was going to grow very significantly, have an impact on society, and I wanted to be part of mentoring not just Dr. Gorog through his part of the process, but for other students involved to help them learn and grow up on something that's going to have a meaningful change for our society.
When you look at investing in any company, you first start with the technology, of course. Technology can be the best technology in the world, but if you don't have the right leadership, you cannot go from a startup to a successful IPO and a successful company. So leadership is very important.
BlockFrame is founded by Dr. Gorog, who has years of experience in this area. The board and the team that's involved are industry leads. So it's a very reliable and strong team.
When I look at a company, I'd like to see their strategy and see how they position themselves in the market, so that once they get in the market, the success will knock on their doors right from the get-go. Total addressable market is very important. So to evaluate a total addressable market, you have to see how the market is segmented. So in order to do that, BlockFrame had a third party, Simon Everett, come and evaluate our technology. They found 3 major market segments. That is where we would be fitting in. One is the high-end cybersecurity, and then the medium and small businesses and individuals cybersecurity. That's another market segment. So they evaluated that, and blockchain technology, because our foundation technology is blockchain. When they saw this, they said it is blue ocean market for you, because you fit in all this market segment in the cybersecurity market today, in the zero trust market today, in the privacy market today. All we have to do is put our product line in the market, and voila, we have the entire market with an edge that we are going in. So we become a direct competitor for the high-end market segment companies, the medium and low market segment companies, and also the blockchain foundational technology market segments. I like to call this one size fits all, and that is BlockFrame technology.
BlockFrame is allowing us to change the paradigm, because it is going to change. Users are no longer going to accept not having control over their data. And governments and end users are no longer going to want to use systems that they don't trust or have accountability or visibility, transparency into the components of that system.
We can fit in this high-end category. Oh, we can fit in this category as well. If they cannot differentiate you in what category you fit in, which means that we can serve them all. And that's exactly what the total addressable market for BlockFrame is. It's very important, because that is how you derive your future strategies based on that.
If you're going to invest in any startup company, then this is the lowest risk one that you can invest in, because it is focused on the hottest technology. We have a large patent portfolio. We have a proven technology that's already out there and adopted by government agencies and other customers. It's already selling.
Simon Everett also evaluated our technology, our foundational technology, which is blockchain. This is the ingenuity of Dr. Gorog. He saw the first generation ledger that Bitcoins and all that use. They're very limited in scalability, and the ledger files are so huge that it's hard to manage. Same thing with the second generation ledger as well. Ethereum falls in that category. Yeah, they're a little better. There are more contract related things that you can put into the ledger, and yet it is not scalable to the levels of the internet that we are talking about, and which is the reason why the first generation and second generation are predominantly used in the fiduciary markets only. So Dr. Gorog thought, okay, let's make something that is scalable. It's a distributed ledger, a third generation we call it, and on top of it, it has very negligible, I would say, latency. It's cost effective. Most importantly, the size of the ledger is so small that it's easily manageable. And when Simon Everett saw this, they just said, it's blue ocean market for you guys. I like to quote Star Trek, go forth and prosper. That's exactly what Simon Everett told us. They said, your total addressable market is the entire market. So even if you capture 1% of the market, that could easily be upwards of hundreds of millions of dollars. And that is where the advantage and the edge of BlockFrame Technologies is.
The reason why you'd want to invest in BlockFrame is you're investing in a technology that's been adopted already by a large government agency, and you're investing in a technology that has a barrier to entry, to be exact, has 4 patents in it. So the risk is hedged by the barriers to entry and the fact that it's already in use, but the growth potential is tremendous. And it's a rare combination to be a part of a company that has those two things.
Year 1, we are scheduled to get our MVP out. BlockFrame Technologies is designed for the customer. So the target MVP that you're going to see will be heavily catered to the customer base.
Strong team, the barriers to entry, when you combine that with the fact that there's already customers using the technology, along with the growth potential, and then dove that with the fact that we are in the 2 sweet spot areas of cybersecurity, being quantum secure algorithms, and blockchain presents an amazing investment opportunity for you to consider being involved in. BlockFrame is providing protections for where the industry is going with technology. I'm talking about AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. I'm talking about providing quantum secure algorithms, and I'm talking about changes in demand for consumers and companies. I also see BlockFrame as empowering and changing lives, many lives globally.
We hope you have enjoyed this episode of New Cyber Frontier. Remember to get involved. Often we think that someone else will handle privacy and security in the virtual world, but you are the only one truly in command of your virtual fate. Join our mailing list so we can keep you informed of breaking news and new releases. If you have an idea, if you have a question that you would like to hear answered, or if you want to get involved with our efforts, reach out to us at newcyberfrontier.com. We also encourage you to visit our sponsors' links, as they are the ones that really make this show possible. I want to thank each of you for supporting the show, and we look forward to seeing you back for the next episode of New Cyber Frontier.